Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Burns here, and in this picture, we're looking at Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill is going to be the Prime Minister of Great Britain for most of World War II. He was not the Prime Minister at the start. He came to power because his predecessor, Neville Chamberlain, people lost faith in him. Chamberlain's policy was called appeasement, and he met with Hitler and bargained away part of Czechoslovakia. And it became clear that Hitler was not a man of his word because shortly after that he took the rest of Czechoslovakia and then invaded Poland a little bit later than that. The crisis in confidence caused Chamberlain to lose his position, and Winston Churchill became the prime minister in um, May of 1940. And his policy was to fight Hitler everywhere. Shortly after coming to power in England, Winston Churchill was faced with a great crisis. Um, in World War I, the British and French had fought the Germans to a standstill inside of France. But in World War II, the German army completely steamrolled the French and British troops. And what you had was a great crisis where there was the 300,000 men that made up the British and the French army were trapped on the French beaches. And somehow Winston Churchill helped rally the British people to save these men. So in June 1940, approximately 300,000 British and French troops were ferried across the English Channel and brought back to England, where they would be able to fight again another day. There were some tensions between British and French forces because Churchill obviously gave priority to rescuing the English people first. Now the war takes on a new phase, and it's called the Battle of Britain. And it is going to be one of the first major air campaigns in history. So the German army is making preparations maybe to ferry itself across the English Channel and actually invade the British Isles. But before they can do that, the Luftwaffe, under their commander Hermann Göring, needed to take out the British Air Force. So the air war begins after the Battle of Dunkirk, and it basically is in two phases. The first phase, the German Luftwaffe or Air Force tried to knock out the radar stations. When this failed, they switched to bombing. They thought they could bomb the British into submission. The British had one great advantage in fighting the Battle of Britain. So the fight was on their territory. So if a British pilot was shot down and parachuted out of their plane and survived, they would live again to fly and fight another day. A German pilot shot down over England, if they survived parachuting out, they were captured. So Churchill's people resist the Nazis, and once 1941 rolls around and Hitler is preparing to invade the Soviet Union, he has to recall all the Luftwaffe, and the air war over Britain ends. Here you see the big three, and that is Winston Churchill, Franklin Roosevelt, the American president, and Joseph Stalin, the dictator of the Soviet Union. These three leaders resisted Hitler and the Nazis in their invasion of in the war in Europe. Stalin is going to do the bulk of the fighting from 1941 to 1943 when his country was invaded by the Nazis. All the while he was doing the fighting, he kept begging the West, Churchill and Roosevelt, to open up a second front. This finally happens when the Allies invade Italy. This didn't really relieve the Soviet Union very much. The big invasion in the West is going to come when the Allies finally land an army in France, June 6th, 1944, an event that we mark as D-Day. So again, these are the big three, uh, Churchill, Roosevelt, and Stalin, and they're going to meet a couple times during the war to plan fighting the Nazis and make the plan for what happens after the war. Let's conclude this with Winston Churchill. So he was a remarkable leader. He alone in the West stood against Hitler for a brief period of time. 1945, the Nazis are decimated. Hitler is dead by the end of April 1945, and his evil regime surrenders on May 7th, 1945. Churchill, shockingly enough, loses his prime ministership In 1945, elections were held in July that year, and a war-weary England